Hey, Layton Croft here with Pancon Resources. This is our video presentation for the 2020 New Orleans Investment Conference. We've got a lot to get through, so let's get right to it. All right, Pancon is focused on Carolina Gold. Our flagship project is the Brewer Gold Project in Chesterfield County, South Carolina, about a 75-minute drive from Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm from. Brewer is the premier gold copper target in the Eastern US. So our presentation is organized in 4 sections plus an appendix. The first is the 5 P's: project, purpose, potential, people, and plan. The second section is 5 reasons why Pancon is a good investment. Location, 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 brownfields upside, strong conceptual model, high quality analogs, and we're going to hit the ground running. The next section is the Brewer technical overview, where we will discuss regional geology, our modern geophysics, and historical drilling through the lens of a case study. Then there's a section on corporate information with our capital structure and contact information. And then there's an appendix with some additional slides. All right, so the first P is project. I'm going to need my glasses for this. Brewer is a former gold mine. It was abandoned about 20 years ago with gold and copper still in the pits. Those pits were reclaimed. We are located on the Carolina Slate Belt, which is a gold-rich strip of geology that runs from Alabama to the Northeast, up through the Carolinas, past Washington, D.C., and up into Atlantic Canada. But the sweet spot of the Carolina Slate Belt is in the Carolinas. You can see on the map that Brewer is in a good neighborhood with past and currently producing gold mines. The most notable of those currently producing gold mines is Hale, which is located 12 kilometers away from Brewer on the Slate Belt. And it's a multi-million ounce mine that last year produced 150,000 ounces of gold. Brewer is environmentally de-risked, and we enjoy strong community and government support. Pancon has the exclusive right to explore Brewer until October 2023, and we have the ability to purchase all of the mining rights. Pancon for Brewer is funded through 2021, and that will allow us to drill 10,000 meters of core. We have the Jefferson Gold Project, which nearly completely surrounds Brewer, giving the entire package a 2,500 acre footprint and allows us for a very robust exploration program. The second P is purpose. Our goal is to discover a new gold mine at Brewer. You know, they say, and they say it for a good reason, the best place to find a new gold mine is at a former gold mine. And that's exactly what we got. We have 4 strategic objectives to achieve our goal. 1, we are going to understand through iterative data analysis the probable location of new gold and copper mineralization. We're going to find through drilling new gold copper mineralization. We will then expand through more drilling the size and the shape of that new gold copper mineralization, and we will demonstrate through data modeling Brewer's larger economic potential. The third P is potential. Like I said, the Carolina Slate Belt is the most prolific gold belt in the eastern United States. The very first gold rush in all of North America wasn't in California, wasn't in Canada, it was in South Carolina in the early 1800s. That's exactly where we were exploring at Brewer. Brewer is one of hundreds of past and present gold mines within a 100-kilometer radius of where it is, which is remarkable. It's generally understood in the mining business that about 3 in 5,000 gold prospects become economic. Well, only 1 in 3 economic deposits become mines. So if you think about it, it's extraordinary. We already have a former gold mine, which is an extraordinary achievement in and of itself. And like I said a second ago, the best place to find a new gold mine is at a former gold mine. The fourth P is people. We are blessed at Pancon to have a world-class team to explore at Brewer. We have a combined 40 years of experience and discovery success in the Carolina Slate Belt at and near Brewer. And we have 200 years combined exploration experience and success around the world. Very quickly, let me highlight. I'm in the top left. I'm the project director. Patrick Quigley is our project manager. Chris Capps is our senior advisor and our qualified person, our QP. Laurie Curtis is our strategic advisor, and he's joining me on this presentation right now. Chris Cherrywell is our technical advisor, and he was the geologist in 1983 that discovered the oxide gold deposit at Brewer. And David Mosier, who is a co-founder and director of Pancon, is a technical advisor. The fifth P is the plan. You gotta have a plan. This slide talks about our plan, which is a roadmap to discovery. And all the activities mentioned here are fully funded. So our option agreement, which ends in October of 2023, began on April 1st, 2020. Starting in April and in May, we compiled historic data, geologic, geochemical, geophysical data, and we're building a robust database and geologic model for exploration. In June and July, we did modern geophysics. We did resistivity induced polarization, or IP. We did ground magnetics, and we did gravity. In August and September, we did an initial drilling program using rotary air blast, or RAB technology. We drilled 90 holes, and we mirrored some of our geophysical targets, but also historic targets, and we did some step-out scout drilling to better understand the geology and the geochemistry at Brewer. In October, we are going to begin a 3-phase, 10,000 meter diamond drill program to produce core. This is the lifeblood of an exploration company. We're going to use the past data and our data set. We're going to use our data from the geophysics and the data, the geochemistry, assay, and spectral imaging mineralogy data from our RAB drill results to inform our drilling program, which, as you can see here, will have 3 phases and go all the way through 2021. The next section is 5 reasons why Pancon is a good investment. The first reason is location, location, location. Earlier, we showed this map on the right of the Carolina Slate Belt. In the bottom right, the smaller map shows Pancon's combined 2,500 acre land package. The Brewer, which is in the middle of that image, is about 1,000 acres. And there are 13 private lease agreements that we have with landowners that nearly completely surrounds Brewer, as noted there in the blue, for another 1,500 acres. This gives us ample space to explore properly. And with a system as large as Brewer, you need a lot of land. Brewer is a known gold system on a proven multi-million ounce gold belt. And Brewer is largely untested, especially at depth. I mentioned the Hale gold mine 12 kilometers away, and there's a former mine called Ridgeway that was run by Kennecott about 65 kilometers along the same trend. Brewer is the only gold mine in this area with copper in addition to gold. We have strong local support, and we have an integrated 2,500 acre footprint. The second reason is golden brownfields upside. I mentioned that our technical advisor, Chris Cherrywell, was the geologist that discovered the near surface high grade oxide gold deposit that became the Brewer gold mine in the 1980s and 90s. Well, that was exposed at surface with a coincident geophysical expression and a geochemical gold copper bullseye target, which is what brought Chris there in the first place. However, Brewer is unique in that it is largely untested below 200 meters below surface, which is pretty shallow in the mining business, and it's open at depth. there's an abundant and diverse evidence of intrusion-related gold and copper mineralization beneath the old workings in the former mine. The graph on the right shows that out of the 1,000 historic drill holes at Brewer, only 9 went deeper than 200 meters. So we are very confident that deeper drilling has a lot of potential for new discovery. The third reason is we have a strong conceptual model. Whether you drink or not, think of the iconic martini and its iconic glass. This is a good way to think about an epithermal high sulfidation system, which is what Brewer is. These are typically created by a big volcanic event that drives channels of fluidized rock. In this case, you can think of the gin and the vermouth from deep below the base of the glass upward through the stem of the glass. And olive in the cocktail represents a hot zone of high-grade mineralization. And at the top of the glass, the wide circumference is the visible alteration on surface, often with a silica cap, which Brewer has in abundance. Large, highly altered zones like Brewer often contain multiple olives or hot, high-grade zones in clusters. The fourth reason is high-quality analogues. There are other high sulfidation epithermal gold copper systems and mines that help us better understand how and what we should be looking for at Brewer as we explore. Brewer has geological similarities to these high sulfidation epithermal mines that have upper and lower zones of mineralization. In Serbia, there's the Timok gold copper mine. In Indonesia, there's the Tujuh Bukit gold copper silver mine. I mentioned earlier our strategic advisor, Laurie Curtis. Well, Laurie led the company that discovered and developed the very large Tujuh Bukit district in Indonesia. So his experience with that will be very helpful and relevant to Brewer. On the left side of this screen, you'll see a cartoon. And it shows a high sulfidation system on the right side, and you can see that big historic volcanic event driving up the fluidized rock. And on the left side is a low sulfidation system. They're both epithermal. What's particularly relevant about this is that here in the Carolina Slate Belt, Brewer, which is a high sulfidation system, is located close, about 12 kilometers from Hale, which is a low sulfidation system. The fifth reason is we're going to hit the ground running. Our team is located in the southeast, very close to the project site, and Brewer is ready to be explored right now. It offers the rare and special opportunity to quickly vector sulfide-hosted gold-copper feeder zones underneath the former surface oxide gold mine that has been reclaimed with material that was stockpiled by the previous operator. Pancon has exclusive access, a world-class team, adequate funds, ample time, and a solid plan to make a significant new discovery at Brewer. Our technical expertise and experience at and around Brewer on the Carolina Slate Belt means smart exploration with good odds for success. The next section is Brewer Technical Overview. I'm going to hand it over to Laurie Curtis right now to help us with these slides.
Thank you, Layton. In this slide, we focused on the local geology of the Brewer system. Brewer itself is located within the Carolina Slate Belt in the southeastern US, a belt which was deposited 550 million years ago, significantly older, by the way, than most high sulfidation systems globally. In this slide, what you see are an area of metavolcanics, which have been breached by a large northeast-southwest trending structure, upon which is focused the Brewer hydrothermal breccia system. It's significant that these structures, the northeast and the northwest-southeast structures that you see, are associated with the dome because they themselves likely are conduits for many of the breccias that have formed the Brewer system and likely peripheral breccias which have yet to be discovered. In this slide, we've superimposed the geology with Pancon's land position now being shown with the cursor. The total geology on this slide is around 25 square kilometers, with Haley to the lower left corner, just off the screen. What we see here is a significant land position which encompasses not only the central Brewer breccia, but the main mineralized areas surrounding the hydrothermal conduit, which we reference as Brewer. As part of Pancon's preparation for the upcoming drill program, a number of test lines were run across Pancon's central project, which is the Brewer mine site itself, and peripheral to the land package that Pancon owns. These surveys included magnetics, gravity, and IP. On this slide, we've superimposed on the Brewer mineralization, shown in a light purple color in the center of this slide. We've superimposed that mineralization with the results of some of the trial IP, magnetic, and gravity anomalies. The important takeaway here is that the IP, the gravity, and the resistivity appear to vector mineralization at Brewer, and there are as yet unexplained peripheral gravity, IP, and chargeability resistivity anomalies. All of these anomalies will be followed up by drilling in the coming program.
So this slide is a case study using historic drill data that we have combined with the modern geophysical interpretation that we have. And it's analysis like this that will really inform our drill program coming up. If you look on this image, you will see right in the middle, a little bit near the top, the letter A with a red dot. That's a drill hole that was drilled in 1997, which was the last time anyone did any exploration at Brewer. That hole was at an angle and it went under the former mined pits, which in 1997 were reclaimed and filled back in. And if you go straight down in the middle of this slide, you will see A with an apostrophe. That's another drill hole. That was a vertical hole drilled by Chris Cherrywell, our technical advisor, in 1983. And you can see the black outline, that is the former pit. So A apostrophe went right through what became the former mine, but it was deep enough to go beneath what was ultimately the bottom of that mine. All right, so continuing this case study, remember A and A apostrophe. Here's a cross section. So if you look at A, it's that steep angled hole that the collar was in north of the old pit, but it went down underneath the old pit. Now A apostrophe is a vertical hole. If you look carefully here in this diagram, you will see that beneath the Brewer pit, the vertical A apostrophe hole intersected gold at a very good grade of 7.47 grams per ton. If you keep going directly below that, you will see that the 1997 hole, A, in our case study, that's at an angle, intersected 7.56 grams of gold. The assays for A and A apostrophe are remarkably similar, even though they were drilled 1983 and 1997. So far apart, they both were under the Brewer pit, and they're both hosted by sulfide material, not the oxide material that was mined. Well, this gives us some kind of indication of a possibility that there is continuity up to about 100 meters of 7.5 gram per ton grade gold. This slide shows company information. And there's several things on this slide I'd like to highlight. The first is we are listed on the Toronto Venture Exchange with the ticker symbol PUC. We're also listed on the OTC QB Venture Exchange under the ticker symbol PUCCF in order to increase the visibility and accessibility for US retail and institutional investors. Another point I'd like to note here is that after our recent financing, we have adequate funds for drilling approximately 10,000 meters of core. Almost half of all of our shareholders are well known to us as insiders, family, and friends. And finally, if you see the chart on the right side, you'll see that year to date, the Pancon share price has increased 500%. All right, so the last two slides are some photos of historic drill core, and they're connected to the case study we spoke about earlier from hole B97-4, which was drilled in 1997. And I'll let Laurie speak on these slides briefly.
The slides that you're seeing here show the root zones of the Brewer system intersected 230 meters below surface. What we're looking at are the hydrothermal breccias, fluidized breccias that are laced with pyrite and chalcopyrite, and occasionally gold values up to 7 grams per ton, all of which gives us reassurance and encourages us to drill not only below the pit, but peripheral to Brewer in the search for a much larger high sulfidation copper gold system.